This problem says to write the following function in standard form. So standard form is where you have no more parentheses or brackets in the function and it's just all multiplied or distributed out. Let's first think about what is in the first parentheses. The first parentheses has a square on it. One common error is to just square the first term and square the second term. But keep in mind that if you have x plus a squared, that does not equal x squared plus a squared. That does not work. But when you think about something being squared, think about like 3 squared. What does it mean to have 3 squared? That means 3 times 3. Like you're taking 2 3's and multiplying them together. Similarly, we need to take 2 of what's inside this parentheses and multiply it together. So we're going to write this as x plus 2 and then times another x plus 2. Then we have to multiply this out, and I'm going to bring down the x minus 3 so we don't lose track of that. Okay, from here, we need to, in order to multiply what's inside one parentheses by another parentheses, is to take every term that's in the first parentheses and we need to multiply it by every term in the second parentheses. Whenever there are 2 terms in each parentheses, we use a method that's called FOIL. So FOIL, F stands for first. So if I bring these 2 parentheses out to the side, the x plus 2 and the other x plus 2, the 2 first terms are the ones that happen first in the parentheses. So we're going to multiply x times x. X times x is x squared. The next letter in FOIL is O, which stands for outer. The outer terms in the parentheses are the ones that are on the outsides of the 2 parentheses. So we're going to be multiplying x by 2, So x times 2, we'll write it as 2x. You usually write the number first and then the variable second. The next letter is I. So I is representing inside. So we take the 2 inside terms, which is the 2 and the 2x. We multiply those 2 together, and 2 times x is again 2x. And it's positive because both of them are positive, so we'll put a plus. And then the L stands for last. So the last 2 terms would be the 2 and the other 2, which 2 times 2 is 4, so we add a 4. So FOIL is one convenient way to keep track of which term you're on because you don't want to skip anything. But notice that we took the first term and we multiplied it, the first term in the first parentheses, and multiplied it by every term in the second parentheses. Then we took the second term in the first parentheses and we multiplied it by every term in the second parentheses. So this is just a way to keep track of making sure that you're multiplying them all and you're not missing a term. Okay, so from here, let's combine like terms. We have an x squared term, but we don't have any other terms with x squared, so we can just bring it down. We have a 2x and another 2x. These are like terms because they both have x in them. So we can add these together by adding their coefficients. 2x plus 2x is 4x. And then similarly to the x squared, the 4, we don't have any more constant terms, so we can just bring it down, plus the 4. So now we've multiplied these 2 parentheses together, and it gives us x squared plus 4x plus 4. And then make sure to bring down the x minus 3 because we haven't multiplied that out yet. From here, now we need to multiply every term in the first parentheses by every term in the second parentheses. We can't use the strategy of FOIL this time because FOIL only works for 2 terms in each parentheses, but we're still using the same idea of every term in the first parentheses, you need to multiply it by the second parentheses. So let's start by the first and the first. So x squared times x. X squared times x is x cubed. Next we can take that x squared and multiply it by the minus 3. So a positive times a negative is a negative, so we're going to have a minus here. And then 3 times x squared is 3x squared. So that is the first term in the first parentheses multiplied by every term in the second parentheses. Now we can move on to the 4x. So the 4x times x is plus 4x squared. And then 4x times negative 3 is negative 12x. Now I'm done with the 4x because I've multiplied it by everything in the second parentheses. I can move on to the last term, which is 4. Multiply 4 times x to make 4x, and then 4 times negative 3 to make negative 12. And now I've completed multiplying every single term out, and now I can just simplify. So there's no other x cubed terms, so we can bring that down. We have a minus 3x squared and a plus 4x squared. Those are like terms. Negative 3 plus 4 is positive 1. We don't have to write a 1 coefficient, so we can just write plus x squared. So now those two terms are done. Sometimes it's helpful to cross out the terms once you're finished with them to make sure you're keeping track of where you are. And then we have negative 12x plus 4x. So negative 12 plus 4 is negative 8. And we bring along the x. We're done with these terms. And now last we just have that negative 12. We don't have any other constant terms, so we bring it down. And since we don't have any parentheses left in our function, this would be our final answer. It is in standard form, not only because it's all distributed out, but also standard form means starting with the highest exponent on the variable and going down as you go from left to right. So I hope this homework help question was helpful for you. If it was, please like and share with others who you think might find these types of questions beneficial. If you would like to see a video on your homework help question or your homework question, then leave your question in the comments and I'll do my best to make you a video. Thanks for watching.